Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. We have some news, so let's get to it. The very first thing I want to tell you guys about is a few new figures coming from Vitamin Imagination, a few new kits. They are created with a 3-step process with bone, anatomy, and then the skin tissue so that they could put as much emphasis on scientific research as possible and differentiating themselves from other dinosaur products. This information has come straight from Vitamin Imagination themselves, and there are two different kits, or you can buy the two together. There is a 1/35th scale Triceratops, which is $95 or a 1/15th scale Protoceratops, which is $65 or you can buy both together in one set for $150. They will be delivered by EMS if you decide to purchase them, and they are not charging for shipping, so shipping is included. There will only be 20 resin kits each, so if this is something that you are interested in, I would get on ordering it very soon. I think both look incredible, and I am super tempted to get that Protoceratops, as I am a huge Protoceratops fan. But again, really nice kits. Vitamin Imagination has produced some beautiful kits over the years, and it's nice to see some new ceratopsians being created by them. So if this is something you are interested in, I will include a link in the description to where you can contact them to inquire further about purchasing these beautiful resin kits. And then a new sculptor, or at least new to me, Stelios Prinaris, and again I may have pronounced his name wrong and I apologize if I did, is selling his very first resin kit, limited to 30 copies, and this is created with a polyurethane resin, and the length is 44 centimeters, height is 24.5 centimeters, and width is 13 centimeters. And you can purchase this in either the resin kit alone or the fully painted version, so it's really your choice. Another beautiful kit for sure. I think this is very impressive overall as far as sculpt and paint goes, as far as what he's created with his initial model here, and you can also see some infants down there at the feet. And overall, again, very, very impressive. The sculpt is very highly detailed and overall extremely beautiful, and the entire kit being his very first cast is absolutely incredible if you ask me. So just like with the Vitamin Imagination, if you are interested in picking this up, I will include a link in the description to where you can do just that. So make sure you head to the description after the video is over, and if you do not have social media, you can contact me to contact either of them for you if you would like to pick these up. And then as far as Papo goes, and thanks to STEFANQR45 on Instagram who let me know of this, there is actually a new Papo set coming out that includes two different figures. One figure we've seen before and one figure we've also actually seen before, but I mean as far as releases go, the release of this figure is pretty darn new as it is a 2020 figure, but you can see that they are releasing a 2-pack with the Gorgosaurus and the Stygimoloch together. I don't know quite for sure if this will be coming into stock on Everything Dinosaur, but they normally do stock these kind of limited edition 2-packs, so I would imagine that there's probably a pretty good chance that we'll see this show up there at some point. But it is exciting to see that Stygimoloch, as so far that one has not released quite yet, and I am really looking forward to it. So hopefully we'll get a hold of this one sooner rather than later. And then as far as AK Rex goes, we have a look at the painted up version of the Hungarosaurus that he is currently selling. I believe this is one of his newest kits available, and you can see that as far as these images go, they look incredibly well done. These were actually built up and painted by him for customers, so you do always have the option of getting it purchased that way and having him build and paint it for you himself. I absolutely love this kit, and again, especially his paint job. Actually, his paint job on all of these here, they're really natural looking, really beautiful overall, and I think this is another incredible kit, again from AK Rex, which is absolutely no surprise whatsoever. So, just like with everything else, again, make sure you head to the description after the video is over if you would like to purchase this, as I will have a link to AK Rex as well. And then as far as Nanmu goes, we have a look here at the upcoming Velociraptor squad in the packaging, so you can see how they're all going to be packaged up and kind of get a sneak peek of the figures themselves. This is one set that I am super excited about because, again, a Nanmu Raptor squad is something that I feel like could be incredibly awesome, just like every Nanmu release has been so far. I'm turning into one of the biggest Nanmu fans out there, and this set is something I am extremely, extremely excited about. I'm hoping to get a hold of all 4 different variants to take a look at for you guys. So seeing these images gets me very excited, knowing that the release is pretty much right around the corner for this incredible looking Raptor squad. And then in some very interesting news, there is a brand new company out called Mesozoo, and they have their very first figure on the way, and it is an Allosaurus. And I think it looks extremely cool. Beautiful sculpt for sure. That is definitely one of the more appealing Allosaurus sculpts that I have seen, but I actually really quite like that paint scheme they've gone with too. I think the way they painted it with that very dark coloration and they play it off with that lighter coloration striping all over the figure looks extremely appealing to me. So this is definitely a figure that I'm really hoping to get a hold of at some point in the very near future. And I believe from what I heard, they will be creating a Ceratosaurus very soon as well. I have reached out to Mesozoo to try to get some more information on both the company and the figures themselves. So once I do hear back, I will be sure to let you guys know. And once a link pops up, hopefully on like Dan's Dinosaurs or somewhere like that, to order this, I will definitely let you know that as well. But again, with a figure this beautiful, I am super excited about the potential of this line and what other figures they could create in the very near future, because I think as far as a first release goes, this Allosaurus is really top-notch. And then as far as Rebor goes, we have recently got a few new images of the Godzilla Fetus that they are going to be releasing soon, and we have a few images of it because we have a new look at a few different variations. As usual, Rebor usually releases a few different variants of their figures, and we can see that there are quite a few different variants of the Godzilla Fetus as well. Each and every one looks really cool. I don't quite know yet which one I'm going to pick up, if it's going to be the completely clear version or the reddish version, because those are my 2 favorites I think at this point. But another super cool looking release coming from Rebor, and something that personally I did not think I would ever be able to own, would be a very cool looking kind of Godzilla Fetus. So this is definitely some super exciting news, now having a few different variants to choose from. And then as far as the Camp Cretaceous McDonald's figures, there are actually a few different figures that will be coming out from the line, but unfortunately as of right now, no word yet on if they'll be showing up in the United States. I do know that they are showing up in South Korea, and you can see that there is a Baryonyx, a Brachiosaurus, a Velociraptor Blue, and an Indominus that we did not get here in the United States. That's not to say that we won't, because there's probably a chance we might, but at this point I really don't know, as there hasn't been any official announcement from McDonald's or anything so far as whether or not we'll be getting these other figures. I'm keeping my fingers crossed because I really do want to get a hold of them, but again, as of right now, I don't know how wide this release is, but it is cool to see a few different figures from the McDonald's line. And actually, there were also 2 more of these McDonald's figures that have actually shown up in Japan now, which is very interesting to see even more of them. There is a Pteranodon and a Stegosaurus, and we also have an alternate image here of the Brachiosaurus, thanks to Collect Jurassic for these images. But again, lots of really cool McDonald's figures that we don't think we're getting here in the United States, but hopefully we will. I would really like to get a hold of all of them and have the complete set, but at this point, if they are going to continue to release them all over the world in different areas and not all in one spot, it's going to be pretty hard to complete this set overall. And then in some more very interesting Jurassic World news, there is a line of figures that you can see here called Captivz that will be releasing a ton of really cool looking Jurassic World minifigures, and we actually have each and every one of them as far as the images go here to check out with you guys. You can see that they are creating an Indominus Rex, which I think looks really quite nice, pretty decent looking figure overall. There is a Stegosaurus, which in my opinion is probably one of the weakest of the bunch. Doesn't really look too good, but I'd still like to own it. We've got a Mosasaurus, which actually looks very similar to that Sega version that we had released a while back, but of course now in mini form. There is also a Pteranodon, which also looks pretty decent for the most part, nothing over the top, but really quite nice. A Sinoceratops, which is probably one of my favorites. I think that one looks really nice, even though it's not the best angle of it, but definitely a cool looking figure. We also have a Baryonyx, which as well looks extremely appealing to me. A very nice looking Brachiosaurus, and a Triceratops. I think the Triceratops is also one of my favorites. Maybe it's just something with the Ceratopsians, but that Triceratops looks like it's a really faithful sculpt to like that Jurassic Park style Triceratops. We also have a wonderful looking Tyrannosaurus Rex, as well as Delta the Velociraptor. We have Stiggy Moloch, which is another one of the best figures, I think, of the bunch as far as both sculpt and paint. That one looks really nice if you ask me. We have an interesting looking Indoraptor, which I think looks okay, nothing over the top amazing, but still pretty decent. We have Velociraptor Blue, which is for some reason the end of the Raptor squad. We have Blue and Delta, but no other figures from the Raptor squad. I'm not quite sure why. There is also a very rare bronze Indoraptor, and a silver T-Rex, which is apparently ultra rare, and then a golden blue limited edition. So I do believe as of right now, as far as what I've heard, that is all the figures that will be released with this line. But as of right now, they've also only been released in Australia as far as I know, which is definitely a bit upsetting. So hopefully at some point we will get a hold of them here in the United States. I'll just have to keep my fingers crossed. And then as far as Mesozoica goes, we have a few images of some of the current sculpt work being produced on some of their upcoming statues, and you can see that as far as the scale detail on this one specifically, this is incredibly beautiful. I am getting more and more excited about this line as the days go on, and especially seeing these up-close images of the sculpt and detail and just how good it looks overall. I could not possibly, I think, get any more excited about this line until they release some painted up images of them, and I know that the release date gets very close, but again, really beautiful work. And we also actually have these images here, I believe, that were unveiled by Paleo Nerd, of some work currently going on their Parasaurolophus as well, which looks just beautiful beyond belief. Super, super exciting as far as this Mesozoica line goes. Again, producing some vintage dinosaurs, which is right up my alley. I cannot wait to see these officially release. And then as far as Creative Beast Studio and the Beast of the Mesozoic goes, we have a look at the current progress on the Lythronax sculpt. Very nicely done. The detail is pretty much insane on this, just like every single time I've seen one of these unveilings as far as this Tyrannosaur series goes. That skin detail is just off the charts. And I think this Tyrannosaur line is probably going to become the best Beast of the Mesozoic line so far, although the ceratopsians haven't even released yet, but these Tyrannosaurs are just incredible looking continuously. I guess I shouldn't jump ahead of myself and wait until I get some of these ceratopsians in hand before I start judging like that, but this Tyrannosaur series is already shaping up to be a complete classic. And then the final thing I have, and as far as Mattel goes, and thanks again to Collect Jurassic for this as well, but the newest Savage Strike figures have officially started to show up in Target here in the United States, which would be Velociraptor Delta, the Savage Strike version, and the newest variant of the Dilophosaurus, which looks really cool if you ask me. So if you happen to have a Target near you, maybe it's time to start hunting for some dinosaur figures, because we have now even more Jurassic World figures hitting your local Target, hopefully, which it will probably take months before they ever actually hit my Target, because my Target is just insanely slow, but it is still really cool, really reassuring as far as we all go to see some Mattel figures actually hitting Targets across the United States. We at least know we will be getting these figures, as there has been quite a bit of issues with figures not even showing up here in the United States for quite some time. So it is nice to see that we will be getting these, but they're very scarce. In fact, a lot of the newer Savage Strike and Attack Pack figures have been extremely scarce over the past few months, so who knows how long it'll take before these actually get fairly widely released. But again, it is still really cool to actually see them showing up now in Target stores in the United States. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way. But until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.